over here. I'm hiding back in the films, in the film library. Ah yes, hello my friends. This time of year I usually spend a lot of my time hiding, just in case any relatives or neighbors come over for a holiday meal. Oh, I can't stand that kind of stuff. Anyway, you're watching the Basement Sublet of Horror. I am your host, Gunther Dedmund, back again with another wretched film. Tonight is Attack of the Giant Leeches, directed by Bernard L. Kowalski from 1959. Tonight's film was also known by She-Demons of the Swamp. Oh, well, it's a wonderful film. Oh, and it also has Michael Emmett, who was in Night of the Blood Beast a few weeks ago, or whenever you saw that one. He was the man who was implanted with the alien. Anyway, he's back in this film. It's a hillbilly, love-making guy from the backwoods, and coincidentally has a similar fate. So anyway, let's go off to the movie, Attack of the Giant Leeches, our holiday special.
Steve, I love you. I love you so much. What was that?
I don't know. You get in that truck and lock it up.
Well, I can't waste any more time on a wild goose chase.
Listen, Benton. The coroner ruled that Sawyer died by misadventure. Now, as far as this officer's concerned, that's the end of it.
But, Sheriff, I can't see why
Look,
they're...
if Lem was killed by anything human, I wouldn't need you to tell me my job. But I'm not about to go tromping through the swamp looking for an overgrown gator.
Sawyer wasn't killed by an alligator.
Is that so? Did you hear that, Morton? Game Warden Benton says it wasn't a gator killed Lem. Well, then what was it? You know so much. Go on, tell me. What killed him?
Doc Grayson said the wounds were the kind of squid or a large octopus might cause.
Oh, sure. And did Grayson explain how a saltwater creature happened to be 30 miles inland living in clear water?
Stranger things have happened. I know
Look here, Ben. You work for the state. Now, why don't you keep your nose out of county business? Is that clear enough for you?
Oh, go soak your fat head.
What was that you said?
I said go soak your fat head.
What was that you said?
I said go soak your fat head.
Oh, that boy's looking for bad trouble. And he's sure going to get it. You can bet on that.
So the edges won't harden and curl when toasted, and so they'll be easier to eat later, she cuts them lightly with a knife.
Well, maybe the sheriff was right, Dad. Could be a freak or a malformed alligator.
No, I'm afraid it wasn't.
Well, where does that leave us, Doc?
I wish I knew.
But Sawyer claims to have killed the thing he saw. Put a half a dozen rifle bullets into it. I've seen that old 44-40 used. Nothing could live after being hit with those slugs.
Well, conceding the possibility of one such creature, we must also concede the possibility of others.
Well, there's one sure way of finding out. Go in and search every backwater, channel, and wet spot in the swamp. If it's there, I'll find it.
The The sandwich is practically an American institution. It is a basic essential for lunch boxes, parties, and picnics. As far as these boys are concerned, well, hamburgers and hot dogs are their idea of a really good meal.
Sure is quiet around here.
Did you hear something?
Yes?
Well, whatever it was, it's not here anymore.
The simmer flame keeps the water boiling gently while the cheese is melting, so that Sally can go on to other tasks.
You've only been at it 2 days and I feel worn out.
Well, you might as well keep on looking around. Well, I guess we may as well give up for today.
Well, you won't get any argument from me.
I can't stand here jawing, Cal. Gotta get this order over to Miss Shovey.
What's she letting her hair down about this time?
Well, ever since Lem got herself killed, she wants me to sell out and move into town.
Don't you let her bamboozle you, Dave. You keep her right here in the store. After all, the place wouldn't be the same without you around.
Thanks, Cal. I better get going. See you when I get back.
Yeah, I'll be around. Liz, baby. It's Cal, honey.
You want something, Cal?
I sure do, honey.
Did you ever think how much fun it is just to be alive when you feel healthy and well? Judy and Jim are well almost all of the time because they follow good health practices. It's a very important practice to wash your hands each time after going to the toilet. Jim and Judy go to the toilet after breakfast each morning and before going to bed each night. You should follow the practice of going at regular times like this.
You're not going to give up, are you, Steve?
Well, I can't waste any more time on a wild goose chase. With all respect to your father's ideas.
Dad seems so sure.
You're some woman, Liz. I reckon I never met a woman like you before.
You really like me, Cal?
You kidding? No, I didn't hurt you now, did I?
It's just that you're so strong. I like a man that's strong.
And remember, other health practices when you get ready for bed. Going to the toilet to stay clean inside, washing with soap and water to stay clean outside, and brushing your teeth to keep them clean are good health practices to follow every night at bedtime.
It's too late for the both of you. Get up. Come on, get up.
Yes, brain work takes a great deal of fuel.
Now, look, Dave, I know what you're thinking, but...
I got double large shot in this here thing. You got 2 seconds before I pull the trigger.
No point getting riled, Dave. Wasn't my fault. She's been pestering me for months to take her out.
Part of the trick to entertaining unexpected guests is keeping on hand certain generally useful foods.
One more step and I'll blow you plumb in two. Get over there.
Now, Dave, it ain't as bad as you think.
Shut up! Tramp.
What are you gonna do?
You'll find out soon enough.
Yes, Gunther Dedmund. Again, I'm hiding in the film library tonight, just in case any of my neighbors or maybe my landlord come down to invite me for dinner on this holiday. Well, anyway, can't have that. Welcome to my Escape from Your Relatives show. You're watching the attack of the Giant Leeches. And I was wondering, will Dave kill Cal and his wife Liz? Or will he just chase them through the swamp? We'll find out. You go and take a break.
And now back to the basement sublet of horror.
So anyway, it's getting better and better. Will Dave wind up eating his words? Oh, well, we'll see. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, it's moving day in the swamp.
Dave, you put down that gun before I get mad and make you eat it.
You go ahead and try it, Cal.
Here is another way in which you are like an auto. There is always some waste to get rid of when the engine uses fuel. That's why cars have exhaust pipes.
Come on, keep going.
There is always waste to get rid of when your engine uses the food you eat for fuel. Good toilet practices means getting rid of the waste at the right times in the right ways.
Dave, please, you gotta listen. It wasn't my fault, honest. She kept playing up to me every time you turned your back. It wasn't my fault.
You call yourself a man. You and your muscles.
Shut up, you tramp! If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this fix. And my old friend Dave wouldn't be doing this thing to me. It's all your fault.
Get going.
But Dave, we've been friends. We've been friends a long time, Dave. You wouldn't kill an old friend, Dave.
If you don't move, I'll kill you where you stand.
But Dave!
Brave, big man.
Oh.
I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
You think you learned enough to stay away from a woman, Cal?
Hey, anything, Dave. I'm moving out of the county. I'll do anything you say, Dave. Anything.
Always go to the toilet when you feel like going. Don't be bashful or silly about toilet habits. Remember, an engine can't run when the exhaust is stopped up.
All right. Come on out of there.
Dave, give me a hand. How'd you go? Look out! Behind you!
And always, after going to the toilet, wash your hands with plenty of soap and hot water.
There ain't nothing down here, Sheriff.
Well, I'm getting tired of this. Well, if there was any bodies out there, we'd have found them. I want some straight answers, Walker. And don't give me any more of that crud about monsters either. Where'd you hide them after you killed them?
I told you the truth, Sheriff. I didn't kill them. I just wanted to scare them good. I loved my Liz. I wouldn't do anything to hurt her. I loved her.
Sure.
Brother, you're a dead duck.
Come on, Walker. Where'd you hide the bodies?
Won't you believe me? It was some monsters. They...
Well, I'm getting tired of this.
My Liz.
County fair reward if someone finds a body, Sheriff?
$50.
Each.
Yeah.
Go away.
Darn fools. Grappling out there in the middle of the water. If them bodies are still in there, you can bet some old bull gator's got 'em stuffed in his cave under the bank, letting 'em ripen up for a few days.
A little butter finds its way into a great many dishes in this kitchen, not only for flavor, but as a blending agent.
What we need now is some long cypress poles to go in there and probe them gator caves.
I'm sorry, Doc, I can't do it.
I have to do it myself.
Wouldn't want to have to arrest you, Doc, but I will if I find you near the preserve with any explosives.
You're not going to give up, are you, Steve?
Sorry, Nan, that's the way it's got to be.
Steve's right, Nan. It's his job to protect wildlife.
What about human life? 3 people have been killed in that game preserve.
Dave Walker wasn't the kind of a man to hang himself, not even with 2 murder charges against him. I talked with Dave less than an hour before he killed himself. That man was in a state of shock. I've seen frightened men before, terrified men. But I've never seen anything to compare with the horror and the fear in Walker's eyes.
Well, he realized what he'd done, and he killed 2 people. One his wife. Well, look, Doc, Nan and I were all over that swamp. And why didn't these monsters attack us?
I've been thinking about that. They're probably night creatures. They can't stand the light, and they stay down near the bottom during the day. A small charge would stun them, bring them to the surface.
Can't buy, Doc.
You're pig-headed, Steve Benton. Stubborn and pig-headed.
You just don't understand, do you?
Right over there in them reeds. Just can't figure old Dave out.
If you was caught like Cal, what would you do?
I hadn't thought of that.
Paul, Jim, and Tip took to drinking together. Jim's father gave him plenty of money, and Jim kept them in liquor. Ever wonder what alcohol does to the human body, aside from making the owner of it act like this? Well, let's take Paul as an example, since he started all this anyway. Anthropologists say that what distinguishes man from the lower animals is his power of reason, a power found in the portion of the brain called the frontal lobes. Well, when a drop of alcohol gets in the blood, that's right where it heads for, the frontal lobes. Almost as if its aim in life was to transform man back into an animal, to take away the reasoning powers and self-controls, or to use a highbrow word, inhibitions that make that human society possible. For anybody who fools around with this, adult or minor, is playing with dynamite.
Boy, this is sure a hot one.
Right unseasonable. Sure is funny.
Then the drinker looks like this, only half conscious, hardly able to stagger, hard to breathe. If he keeps on drinking and the concentration reaches 4 to 5 drops, he ends up like this. And that's fortunate in a way.
Huh? Ain't you noticed anything?
Oh, what?
We've been prodding around you all morning. Ain't run across a single gator. By rights, this pool should be crawling with him. Sure funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
I don't like the looks of things. Let's call it a day.
Well, now, wait a minute.
The boys were drinking more and more, depending on liquor to get them through the day. Even dates were no fun anymore without a bottle.
Let's go. You gotta quit drinking that moonshine. That's why you're so wrinkled and ugly.
Right now, he wishes he'd taken just one less drink.
Late snack after a movie, they have something special in the way of a sandwich in mind. And the filling, or perhaps we should say covering, goes on top. Mother is a great believer in the aesthetic value of parsley, and of course it's good to eat, too. Now a touch of Tabasco for color and a taste surprise.
Eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Food makes the best fuel when it is eaten slowly and chewed thoroughly.
Sally adds potato chips to the menu. They used to be exclusively picnic fare, but they've joined the host of useful accessory foods which make entertaining so much easier and more fun.
Oh, well, I really hate to say this, and you know me, I'm not one to make puns, but this movie tonight, well, it really sucks, it really does. Welcome to my Escape from Your Relatives special, and I've managed to escape or avoid any dinner that anybody who would try to invite me to dinner. I made it off on my own. Oh, and by the way, every year my Aunt Gunther Dedmund from Alaska, She sends me a frozen dinner all packed up nice and ships it off to me by express mail. The package has just arrived and I've got my dinner in here and I can't wait to dig into it, but you dig into the movie and I'll get back to you with my dinner later.
At this point, we will return to the basement sublet of horror.
Yep, Gunther Dedmund here. I still haven't dug into my package of my frozen dinner here. I'm letting it thaw out a bit before I try and eat it. We're going to get back to the movie, and this part of the movie is really a blast.
We've been calling, but there's been no answer.
Oh, I just got back. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, haven't you heard?
Old Sam Peters and Porky Reed have disappeared.
Come on inside. Doc, you and Nan take your car and get as many volunteers as you can. Tell them to meet me at the old wagon road. I'll call Doak Evans and have him bring his dogs. Either they're lost or they've had an accident.
I hope to heaven you're right.
Well, we can't do anything more tonight. Might as well start back.
I reckon ain't no use hurrying now, Mr. Benton. Reed and old Sam was alive. They'd let us know with a holler or something.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way.
Oh, I'll get you yet. Up.
You fellas notice anything about this lake? I mean the gators.
What about them?
They ain't. A piece of water this size usually has maybe 50, 60 big uns around. A whole lot of little ones. It's real unnatural.
Well, maybe our torches scared them away.
Nothing scares gators. Nothing. Animal or human.
Well, we might as well get out of here.
something in mind, Steve?
I keep thinking what Evans said about the gators. Nothing scares them, animal or human. And yet something made them leave. Maybe a
alcohol
contamination. Guess I better run some water samples.
What about the boy or girl who never gives himself a chance to learn to adjust with liquor? He's licked before he starts.
Come on, you two. Drink your coffee.
And supposing there is no contamination?
Well, then I'll send over to Eastport for a diving rig and go down to look for this monster of yours.
No, Steve, don't even joke like that.
I'm not joking, Nan. I had some training with an aqualung while I was in the Navy.
But, Steve...
Look, there are 2 bodies we know for sure down there. Maybe 4. They've got to be brought up.
Wait a minute.
Jim's date, Judy, had never tasted liquor before, but like dope addicts, one drinker can't stand the sight of somebody not drinking.
There are no alligators in that part of the swamp, right?
So?
No sign of any fish or snakes?
No. Well, what are you getting at, Doc?
Well, there goes your argument about setting off a dynamite charge underwater. You'd bring the bodies to the surface.
Get it out of your mind, Doc. I'm not using any explosives as long as there's another way.
For anybody who fools around with this, adult or minor, is playing with dynamite.
Steve, how long will it take to get this diving equipment from Eastport?
Couple of days. Why?
Oh, nothing. Take care of yourself, Steve.
And soon, Judy catches the spirit of the thing.
Well, here's hoping.
Dad, can't you throw the dynamite in from here?
No, I want to get it out into the middle, in the deepest part.
This is a sandwich for forks, an open face creation, in other words, with a cheese, milk, and tuna fish mixture on top. Mother thinks she'll give the guests a choice of Coke or milk. When you can offer guests a choice easily, it's a gracious gesture.
Only 2 drinks and look at her. But it's really very simple. Tolerance for alcohol varies from person to person. Judy is one of those on whom it acts like a deadly poison.
It should go any minute.
Getting rid of the wastes at the right times in the right ways.
Another victim, one of the estimated 10 to 20,000 last year alone.
I just can't figure it out. Walker's wife, why didn't her body come to the surface?
I don't know.
I think I better walk over to the coroner's office.
What's the matter, Mr. Benton? You feel awkward about arresting my father in his own home?
I warned him I'd arrest him if he used dynamite.
Fortunately, a patrol car spotted Jim going through a stop sign, and he is picked up on suspicion of drunk driving. Jim's father was summoned to the station, and because this was Jim's first offense, was successful in having Jim released.
Well, the autopsy should be over by now.
Oh, Steve. I thought you'd be here.
I don't like to have to do this, Doctor.
Do we have time for a cup of coffee first?
Sure.
You mind, honey?
No, I'll make some sandwiches.
As we said, there are sandwiches and sandwiches. A wise young homemaker using good techniques and equipment and a little imagination can turn a sandwich into festive fare.
One thing is certain, for all the good it'll do now. Dave Walker didn't shoot Cal. I just come from the autopsies. Covers tried to keep me out. But I told him I'd raise a stink they'd smell all the way to the Capitol if he did.
Getting rid of the waste at the right times in the right ways.
Well, what killed them, Doc?
Not drowning. And Cal wasn't shot either. Every drop of blood was drained out of their bodies. And they had wounds on their throats. Suction wounds. Like a gigantic leech might make. And there's something even more incredible. Now, Cal was supposed to have been killed several days ago. Sam and Reed have been missing a matter of 48 hours. All three of them, as far as we know, were in that lake a minimum of 2 days. Now, I'd stake my reputation as a doctor that Cal hadn't been dead more than 2 or 3 hours when we found him. And the other 2 less than that. First stage rigor mortis started in during the autopsy.
Billy Martin is one of the nicest boys in our town. He's one of the cleanest boys, too. Billy always has been a nice boy. But he hasn't always been so clean. As a matter of fact, for a long time, Billy's parents worried about him.
But how could that be, Doc? It's impossible.
The coroner will confirm it. Whatever killed him is still in that lake, and it's going to take more than dynamite to get it out.
That explains how Cal and the others lived after they were supposed to be drowned.
What do you mean?
Well, this whole region is riddled by caves and caverns cut out by the ocean thousands of years ago. If there are caves above the water, then there must be caves under the water.
Billy's parents did worry because he was so careless about washing when he should have washed. He had to be reminded almost every time. And even then, he didn't do a very good job.
You mean you think that there's an ale pocket or a cave underneath the lake?
Right, gotta be. How else could those people have lived down there? Not only that, it explains how, whatever it is down there, lived through the concussions.
Steve. Liz Walker. She might still be down there. Alive.
Well, I've unwrapped my dinner for my Aunt Eartha off in Alaska, Gunther Dedmund, my aunt. Letting it thaw out here, getting ready to dig in any minute here. But, well, I was watching the movie, and do you think Liz Walker is still alive underneath those caves in the water? Yes, maybe alive with 1 or 2 giant hickeys. Ooh.
No, no, no.
Let's take a break.
And now, back to the basement sublet of horror.
Well, here we are at the moment that I've been waiting for all evening, ready to dive into my Aunt Gunther Dedmund's frozen dinner she sent me all the way from Alaska. Every year she sends me these things, and they're usually pretty good. Oh, my goodness. Well, apparently Aunt Eartha's cleaned out her fridge for me this year. Apparently, I am not quite the nephew that I thought I was. Oh, my goodness, this is pretty dreadful. Oh, well. I guess I have to let it thaw a bit, too, because it's all kind of still frozen and chunky. Oh, well. We'll go back to our movie as our hero, Mike, is getting ready to dive into the swamp looking for leeches. Into the water, let's go.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want me to go down for you, Mike? You haven't had one of these things on for a long time.
They just want me to be a sissy.
Not this time, Mike.
If you ask me, they ought to have their heads examined. Giant leeches. Well, I'm willing to bet a month's pay they don't come up with nothing more than excuses. He's crazy. Him, the doc, and his brat, too. Just wait till I get on the phone to the Capitol.
One night, Billy had a dream. At least, I guess it was a dream.
It's not sissy to be clean.
Who said that? Who's there?
I did. One of your best friends. Let me introduce myself. Soapy's the name, partner.
Why, you're a living cake of soap.
Big as life, Billy. And I'm here to help you. I can help you, partner.
But I don't quite understand.
Be careful, please.
Don't worry, Mike will be ready if anything goes wrong.
Don't worry about Steve. Now, if you were going after Barracuda, you might have a tiny bit to worry about.
Ready, Mike?
You and I can be partners in other clean habits, Billy. You can see, Billy, that I am your partner.
No, please stay away. Please.
Eat all of the food that is served to you. Then you won't run out of fuel when your engine needs it most.
Not exactly inviting, is it?
That sure isn't. Hold her steady, Mike.
That's just the trouble. So many boys and girls don't understand what a good friend I can be. So I'd like to show you. May I?
Why, yes, I do.
Well then, just lie down and close your eyes. That's right. Now, what do you see?
It'll stop anything up to a tiger shark. But you gotta hit. Misses don't count. Now, anything goes wrong, just yank on the line. I'll be down in a hurry.
Well, Billy, you and I must tame animals more dangerous than bucking broncos. I help you control animals that could make you sick. Now, close your eyes again, and I'll show you.
Sure you don't want me to go down and finish it off for you, Steve?
No, thanks, Mike. I think I hurt her pretty bad.
So long, partner, and don't forget.
I won't, Soapy.
He's wounded it! He's gonna finish it off!
Does he have to go under again?
He's got to make sure, honey.
Where could it have come from?
I wish I knew. We'll have to make some tests. Maybe the proximity of Cape Canaveral's got something to do with it.
The rocket station?
Well, they use atomic energy in the first stages of launching. Not all of them have been successful.
You think that if some animal life was close by, not close enough to be killed, but close enough to feel the effects of a radioactive energy that's...
A mutation. A type of gigantism of some common animal. Whatever it is, I hope he's able to bring it up.
Excuse me, my friends. Excuse me. After all, a big meal like that, I just really makes me kind of sleepy.
Another health officer, the meat inspector, makes sure that meat is clean and safe. The mark shows that this meat is clean.
It is a good idea to add something for variation in color and texture. Mother is making a salad dish: celery, radishes, olives, and pickles.
That can't be Liz. What could have done that? Look at her face.
She adds the canned chunk-style tuna fish And notice that she uses a wooden spoon to avoid discoloration of the mixture.
Look at that thing. I've been around here for years. I never saw nothing like that before.
Boys and girls should wash their hands often, especially at certain times, and especially after going to the toilet.
There was no sign of them this time. They must be licking their wounds.
You sure you used enough stuff to do the job, Mike?
I used 100 sticks of 40%. Ought to blow the bottom right out.
All right, let her go.
Oh, no. I've done enough of your dirty work. Help yourself.
And there's tuna rarebit a la Sally Gasco.
And Billy didn't forget. He's one of the cleanest boys in our town now. He's one of the healthiest. And certainly, he's one of the happiest.
So, there you have it, my friends. Attack of the giant leeches. And the leeches are still out there somewhere, waiting to suck again. Pleasant dreams on that thought. Anyway, we'll be back next week with another episode of the Basement Sublet of Horror. And until then, good night, my friends.